Hello there, Stampin' friends. Welcome to Movie Monday with Jody Breckbill, Stampin' Queen. I am doing an early morning video for you guys today, and I'm just realizing how poor my lighting is. Normally I'm trying to beat the sun because I get so much glare in here. So I thought that maybe I would do my video early, and I'm realizing how low light it is, but that's okay. We're going to stamp anyway. It'll be fine. So I did want to share this. This is my gorgeous new annual catalog. It arrived this week. Demonstrators get it ahead of time so that we can pre-order some items, we can make notes, we can drool and slobber all over it. And I say it every time, I swear I do. I love every catalog that we get. There are some really cool ideas in here, some gorgeous new stamps and things. You're going to start to see them if you are following me or following other demonstrators on Pinterest and Split Coast Stampers and on the interweb. You're going to see all kinds of new stuff coming out, and that's just the tip of the iceberg because they only let us order a select amount of things to start off. So this catalog will be live June 3rd. So if you do not have a copy, well, you may not get a copy just yet. I'm taking reserve copies. So if you do not have a current demonstrator, make sure to hit me up and I will definitely get you a catalog. If you are my local folk, I have a list going. I did a survey email and you guys were able to sign up and get your name on the list. If you're not sure if you're on my list or not, hit me up. These should start arriving probably mid to end May. Like I said, it goes live June 1st, and this is all I can show you, kids. I can only show you the cover, but let me tell you, excuse me, about our new in colors. Oh, are they gorgeous. So this might be a little sneaky peek here. This may be Bumblebee and Just Jade. Those are two new in colors we have. And then we have Crisp Cinnamon, Magenta Madness, and Misty Moonlight. So they are just beautiful. But let's get stamping. How about that? Let's get stamping done. So this is a project that I am doing right now. I'm going to show you kind of the basics of how to get it put together. This is stolen from my good friend Dory. She is an amazing creative demonstrator. Stampin' Always with Dory, and she showed this and I was like, gotta have it. Love it. I love the fact that it is no stamping. It is just die cutting and punching, focusing on our gorgeous Ornate Garden Designer Series paper. So I did a class on this. Now my class folks are waiting patiently because shipping is a little bit slow. So their paper is on its way from Utah, but I wanted to show you real quick how to do it. So you could do this at home with any dies that you have, any punches that you have, any designer paper that you have. This is an 8x10. This is not some size I normally work with. I normally like to do 9x9s and 12x12s, but when she showed this and it's got the nice cutout in there, that's a 5x7 cutout, I just thought that looks so cute. And it's something different and it's something perfect that we might want right now, especially when we're all staying home and staying safe, to do something creative and crafty. And what else did I want to share with you? I think that's it. Now you can alter this into a 12x12 or 9x9 if you want, just a matter of how you cut your paper. You may not have the 5x7 cutout because that is a mat, but you could totally do this in any size that works for you. So let's get started. What I want to show you first, so I can get that out of the way, is how I did the big shot part. Are we on camera here? So this piece is 5x7. This is mint macaron, and clearly it's not going to work because, you know, my embossing folder does not quite go that way. So you need to actually run this through twice. And I don't normally emboss for you guys because it kind of shakes the table and takes up a little bit more time. I like to try to keep my videos a little bit moving along a little fast. So you're going to go ahead and put your paper, I'm really close to the camera. Let me see if I can make some more room here. All right, so get your cardstock in, and it's going to be kind of halfway through, and that's fine. It's not really a big deal. So we're going to roll it through, I'm trying to get it straight here, which it doesn't really matter. This is the Ornate Floral or Ornate Garden embossing folder. This is new. It is out now. It was a pre-release, so you can get it. It coordinates with the designer series paper we're going to use. So I'm going to put this on my big shot and run it through. I want you to be very careful when you're running this through because it is the exact width. So you want to make sure that it is not too over too far on one side or the other, because if it is, you will notice that my embossing folder has come apart and it's totally in two pieces and it is taped together. So what happened was it slid a little crooked when it went through the machine, and it put too much pressure there on that hinge and it just ate that plastic. So be very, very careful. Now, what we're going to do is put that embossing folder, or put it back in our embossing folder, but we don't want to see this line here. So what I did was just a little bit of overlap. Hopefully you can see this. So I have some of the flowers overlapping inside the embossing folder anyway. So I don't want to go right here because I'm going to get the line of that embossing folder. It's going to create right across there. So just a little bit, doesn't have to be much. And the beauty of this one is it's random flowers, so you don't have to worry about it. Excuse me. You don't have to worry about it being straight or trying to match up a line or anything like that. So now I'm going to put this back in, and I'm going to take my plate, and I'm just going to not cover my whole piece. Okay, so normally we would have the plate covering the whole thing. I have my plate just a little above the edge of the embossing folder, and I'm going to run that through. All right, just hang in there. You're going to rock and roll a little bit. Don't throw up, friends. Okay, so you'll see that that piece comes out with no line. Okay, perfect. Now, the nice thing about this is if that's a little much for you, let me get this out of the way. If that's a little much, it's really not a big deal because this goes in the mat and then you've got the words over top, and really you probably would not see that anyway. So now here's the mat that came in my frame, and so I am going to turn my paper onto the back side. This is cut to 8 by 10. Line this up. I know one thing that I did forget. Let me grab it quick. All right, I want green glue for this for sure. Excuse me, you guys are the first people I've been talking to today. I got a little frog. All right, so there we go. Line that up, and then I'm just going to take, I'm trying to decide if I want a Sharpie because I don't want to see that on the edge. I'm going to go with a pen. I don't want to see the Sharpie mark on the edge of my mat, but I also am on the back side and I'm cutting this out, so I'm not too concerned about seeing lines on the back side. That's really not a big deal. I don't want a pencil because I need to be able to see this for cutting. So now I've got, so I'm just going to create my hole in there. This stays. You're going to keep that, okay? You don't want to get rid of that because that is good paper that we can do something else with. So now I'm just going to very carefully line up. You can cut this with scissors. You could do an X-Acto knife. I chose to use my Stampin' trimmer. And I'm just going to make sure that I'm in the groove here. And I'm eyeballing this. I'm not sure how far in this went. Where's my arm? Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of, I look at there and then I just have it right there. So that's kind of how I do it. And then there are little marks right on each side here. So I know that that's where my cutting blade starts. And I'm just going to put it in and I'm going to stop at this line down here. Am I on camera? No. Let's see if that helps. So I'm just going to cut down. Now I might have to do a little scissoring once I'm finished, just to make those corners meet. I'm going to do a little bit of a turn here, go back into a little bit off there, but that's okay. Cut down to that line I just made, and I'm going to keep doing that until that square comes out. Now if you need to go back and fix, you can go back and fix. That's no problem. If you are a measurer, you can measure exactly how far you need to be. I'm not that particular. All right, so hopefully, I do need my scissors just to help that pop out a little bit. And I'm looking here, I might, come on now, friend. Just want a little snip. And then we need a little snip down here. It looks like I need to cut just a smidgy on the other side. I might do that. Do I need to? Let's see. I may just cut that a teeny little bit more. Not much, just a little bit. Yeah, now I think I like that. And you over here, just a teeny little bit as well. Whoops. Oh, stay still. Stay still. Alrighty. Get this out of here. And then this is where our green glue is going to be our friend, because our green glue, let's hope mine is, I haven't been using it as much during quarantine. All right, so I'm just gonna scribble some green glue around here. And the nice thing is you have a little bit of time, a little bit of wiggle room to put this on and kind of shift it to make it fit exact. And then I want to allow it to have a little bit of drying time while I work on my daisies. Now the one thing is, this frame is not a shadow box, so we really can't do a lot of pop dotting. I'm going to put dimensionals on my words, but my flowers and such are not able to be put dimensionals in my gems, and that kind of thing won't be able to be on there. All right, this looks like I got a little bit too long here, so I'm going to trim that off. And this actually is not going to be a problem because it won't be seen in my frame, but I'm worried that it's not going to quite fit like it should. We'll see if I need to trim that off later. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. We of course now got this piece to do something fun with. We've got our die cut there, and then I have all my little punch outs here. So I'm not gonna make you watch how I did every single thing, but I have some leaves here. This is from our retiring leaf punch, and sad to say it is already sold out. So our last chance list is available now, and many items are selling quickly. So check out the last chance list. You can find it on my Facebook pages. And those items are selling quickly. So make sure you look at the list and see those items that you have to have and grab them before they're gone. So I've got my words here. I've got my little flowers. There's our bless. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some daisies together. I like pop dots with these guys just to make sure that they stick well. I noticed that one of mine was starting to come off, and I had just used the snail adhesive. So we're going to do 2 dimensionals, and we need to offset them. And that just makes them look nice and full. And then same thing here, I'm going to do a glue dot in the center. So I'm going to have 2 white daisies, and then I'm also going to have 4 yellow daisies. These are crushed curry, I believe. I didn't have the new bumblebee yet, that new bumblebee paper, which actually coordinates with this, but it didn't ship yet. It's not here. Okay, so I'm going to make 4 of those. And I should have brown centers, but it looks like I did not punch those out, and that's all right. You guys can get the gist of what I'm creating here. So I would put a brown, that's a 1/2 inch circle punch. I'd put a brown one in there. And then for assembly, I used pop dots on here, and I love the black dimensionals. So we sell white ones and we sell black ones. Now the black ones are not in any catalog. They actually are a carryover from the holiday catalog, but they're still available. And they come in a pack with big and small, which is fantastic. And these little guys are just perfect because they fit on these letters. Now I will say these letters are retired. They've been retired for a while. I think they are large alphabet. But we don't have anything quite similar, so I've kept it because I love it so much. I use it all the time. Now we do have a fun new alphabet coming in the next catalog, so I'm excited about that. I don't know if I'll retire these guys or not. They're good friends. They've been through thick and thin with me. But the black dimensionals work so nice because they just don't really show up if you have a little edge sticking off of that dark cardstock. So let's go ahead and flip this over. And I am going to use tear and tape and go along the edge. Where's my end of my tear and tape? So I'm just going to go real tight along the edge of this mat. And this paper, so this hole is 5.5. No, 5 by 7. I cut this 5.5 by 7 so it has overlap so that it'll stick down for you. So you want to make sure you have it a little bit longer, or yeah, a little bit longer, a little bit bigger than it needs to be for attaching this together. And again, I'm using no dimensionals except for the letters because my frame is flat. All right, and there's a little edge here that's too long, and I want to fix that. So I may not go through with this. So what you're going to do then is peel that off, and then you're going to put your cardstock, and there you go. Okay, so that's what we're going to have here. At this point, if you decide on the inside, you could go ahead and put your daisies there with some leaves, or you could keep them and do them on the outside as well, which is what I did because I wanted some dimension and I wanted to use our super cool gems. And if you have gems on this, it is not going to fit in your frame. Now, if you've got a shadow box, you're good to go. Dimension everything you want, put gems on it, you're all good. So then the next step is going to be just placing your letters. And like I said, I'm going to put dimensionals on them and I'm going to kind of, squish them in there. So then let me show you the finished project again. And this is it. So these are actually on the outside of the frame. I put them on with glue dots. So then if I decide that maybe I want to use this frame for something else, maybe a little Goo Gone will take that away. It's no big deal. Now, my friend Dory used little magnets on here, which is fantastic. So she has each flower as a little magnet, so it just pops off. You can find those on the internet, Amazon, something like that, just a little magnet. So there you go. That is going to be our final creation. And it is just beautiful. So thanks so much for joining me, guys. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week for Movie Monday.